What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about the squad that I would run in King of the Court today in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, I got to be completely honest with you. I am absolutely, exquisitely not playing in King of the Court. I mean, there's not even many thoughts that went through my brain about playing it. I did for a second think, well, maybe it would be good just from like a content perspective and give you guys content. But then I looked and saw that the ultimate reward in King of the Court is still an invincible. An invincible card. We are in August. And the invincible card is still your ultimate reward for getting first in the world. I legitimately cannot wait until next year there's actually a reason for me to play this game. Like, I'm excited for that because number one is going to be a new challenge for me. Number two, it's going to be a new reason to load up and play the game. But when I load up and see I get an invincible for winning King of the Court, it's just sad. But let's go over and talk about the squad. Start off at the point guard position. I like GOAT Luka. I mean, I think at 6'7", he does provide a lot of things on the floor for you. Decently wide player model, player build, great release, quick release. He's just a really good offensive card primarily. Defensively, he's, fine at 6'7", but offense is really the main attraction for Luka Doncic. I did get him out of my GOAT Super Pack. He's unsellable. I just don't really, honestly, I don't think I've loaded up on my main account like the last 3 days. There's just not been I've just not had the urge to load up the game. And again, the more I look at things, the more I'm like, we are really counting down the days until the new 2K comes out. I mean, we're at this stage, less than 1, 2, 3, we're less than 4 weeks away, which again is absolutely crazy to think about, but that's where we're at. We're less than 4 weeks away until the new 2K is out, and I'm excited about it. So Luka, my starting point guard. Starting shooting guard hasn't really changed for the last 2 months. It's been GOAT Larry Bird. I mean, I love GOAT Larry Bird. It's crazy that some people think the 100 overall Larry is as good as the GOAT Larry. He's not. Is it close? Somewhat, but not particularly. GOAT Larry Bird has been fantastic. I think he's got the Patty Oscar. A lot of people don't necessarily love that release, but I think the more I've used it, the more I've really gotten the hang of it. So I don't hate it at all for Larry Bird. I think the card is an absolute stud, an absolute beast. And if you've gotten, used to Larry Bird, you're really going to like what the card gives you on the floor. I think, for me, it's one of those things for Larry. I really do enjoy using the card. Small forward position, we got a new sheriff in town. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, if I loaded up and played King of the Court today, I would spend all my MT and I would get GOAT Giannis because at the end of the day, he's a 6'11" small forward with a great player model, great player build. He's a GOAT card. He's going to have perfect stats, perfect badges, and his release is fantastic as well. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. GOAT Giannis is the real deal in this game. I mean, again, there's not really much to say about it. If you get your hands on Invincible Giannis or GOAT Giannis, you got one of the best small forwards in the game. It's one of those things, is Invincible Giannis better? Some people might argue yes, some people might argue no. I think Invincible Giannis is really good in his own right. But guess what? I think GOAT Giannis is really good in his own right as well. So it just depends ultimately on what you are looking for. For me, I really do like what GOAT Giannis can provide for you guys. And again, for myself, I at this stage probably would prefer GOAT Giannis to the Invincible Giannis Antetokounmpo. Power forward position, there's not a whole lot changing in my front court. It's Ralph Sampson. The card's 7'4". He knocks down shots. He has a relatively fast, relatively quick jump shot. Again, there's not any real negatives I can say about him. I think Ralph Sampson is so elite on this game, and honestly, I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is. With his ability to knock down shots, play good defense, and just the overall picture with Ralph Sampson, I definitely think the card is just underrated, honestly. I think the card is incredibly good on this game. And I'm very, very glad that I was able to get Ralph Sampson. And if you took advantage and got Ralph Sampson, you got a really, really, really good card to use for your squad. Starting center position, nothing's going to change. You've got GOAT Yao Ming. Now, I will say, who was it? The new Manute Bol, I think, has the same exact release as Yao Ming. And that card is really good. So, if you get your hands on Manute Bol, he's obviously really, really good in his own right. But Yao, I picked him up for, I think, 10 million MT. Well, he was definitely not a cheap card whatsoever. Do I regret it, though? Not really, because Yao has been literally so good for me. Literally ever since I picked up Yao, the card's been exquisite for me. So, really don't regret it at all. Obviously, again, at this stage, I still have 5 million MT, and I'm probably not going to load up the game. If they do have like the GOAT and Invincible Super Packs, I might, you know, do an opening, I guess, when they come out. But I mean, that would be basically it. Backup point guard between two guys, Ben Simmons and Julius Erving. The thing is, like, I go back and forth. Some days I like Dr. J. Some days I like Ben Simmons. It's just really preference based. Honestly, I would say this: I'd run a 3-point guard rotation. Some games I'd run, you know, Ben Simmons. Some I wouldn't. Some games I'd run Dr. J. If I'm struggling with Luka, he would get benched as well. You know, having the 3-point guards gives me at least some flexibility because they're all different. I don't necessarily love Dr. J's release. I think it's a little weird. Ben Simmons offensively really gives me nothing. So it just depends what you're wanting to do there at that point guard position. I'm going to run a 3 system if I play today and be just fine with it. Shooting guard position, I'm running GOAT Lil Dang. I know a lot of people don't love the Matt Ryan Oscar release. I really don't mind it. And I know it's going to sound weird, but I don't mind it at all. To me, it's a solid enough release that is just fine, you know, that you can use and have a lot of success with. So that's where I'm at with Luol Deng. I think the card is really fine. I mean, he's 6'9". To me, he's a very similar option to a guy like Larry Bird. The cards offensively, I don't want to gas him, but I will say this: the cards offensively are good enough, right? I think you can use both of them offensively, and they can both be your primary ball handler. A lot of people are going to maybe disagree with me on that, but I think they both can definitely be that primary ball handler. And again, offensively, just do, in my opinion, do enough. And so for me, that's where I'm at with Luol Deng. With Larry Bird is offensively, I think the cards are good enough. Defensively, they're really solid. Especially if at the 3, I've got Dirk, another guy that can kind of create his own shot. Dirk's been, I mean, one of the longest guys on or one of the guys that's been on my squad now the longest. And I love it, man. He's just a guy I can trust out there on the floor. Now, do I think Giannis Antetokounmpo overall right now is better than Dirk? Yes, but I do think Dirk is really solid, and I think offensively is where you get your main value. I feel like his release is really easy to time, easy to green. I know his upper is a little interesting. Easy to time, easy to green. You're going to knock down shots with it. He's going to play good defense. There's just no real flaws with Dirk, and I think he's tough to beat. So he's obviously a shoe in there at that small forward position. Not the power forward position. I went back and forth with a few different guys here. You know, and honestly, I don't even know if this is who I would go with because, again, you know, you could run Zach Edey. You could run Victor Wembanyama, you know, invincible 100 overall. So I don't even know if I would go with Shaq, but he is the guy that really caught my attention because, again, as far as like GOAT cards that are centers, there's not a whole ton. Do think Kristaps Porzingis is going to be a little too pricey. And so I did ultimately go with Shaq there. Thing I like about the Big Diesel is his wide player build. You can say a lot of things about Shaq, but that wide player build is something special, right? That's something that he is going to have that a lot of others may not, you know, bring to the table. And that's something I think with Shaq, you at least have to grow to appreciate what he is going to provide as far as that, you know, ability on the floor. So that's where I'm at with Shaq. I think the card overall is a really solid option for you guys at that power forward position, especially if you're wanting just kind of that wider player build, going to be great defensively. At the center position, nothing's changed in GOAT Wilt. I picked up GOAT Wilt a while ago, and again, nothing is going to change unless it has to change, and that's where I'm at with Wilt Chamberlain. I really like the card. I think the card overall is a solid option for you guys, and again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's just kind of my approach with Wilt Chamberlain, who has been really good for me, is if it's not broke, don't fix it. Wilt is going to do his thing. He's going to knock down shots. He's going to play solid enough defense. And as long as he can do those things for me, who am I to bench Wilt, right? 7'1", gonna play solid enough defense. No, his player build's not gonna be as good as, you know, Yao's or Ralph's or even Shaq's, but it's good enough, right? He's gonna be able to hold it down, and that's all, honestly, I'm going to need him to do. So if I were to play in King of the Court today, this would be the squad I ultimately would go out there with. Now, do I think I'd win King of the Court? Honestly, I don't know, because at this stage, and it's gonna sound bad, but I haven't really been on the game as much as I maybe used to, and so it sounds bad, but that's just kind of where I'm at. I haven't been on the game as much as I've used to, so I don't know. If I played in King of the Court today, I'm not even gonna sit up there and say I'd for sure win, because I don't even know if that's true. But that is gonna wrap it up for our video today. Let me know your thoughts on my King of the Court squad. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.